All right, let's talk about the Middle Ages. When you hear that phrase, what pops into your head? Probably mud, misery, maybe some knights in gluey castles, right? Well, forget everything you've seen in the movies. We're about to bust that Dark Ages myth wide open.
So that's the big question, isn't it? Was this thousand-year stretch of history really just a bleak, stagnant gap between Rome and the Renaissance? Or is there a much more complex and frankly more electrifying story to tell?
Okay, let's get real. It's time to peel back the layers of pop culture cliches and look at the fascinating, messy, and incredible reality of a world that literally laid the groundwork for our own. So, here's how we're going to do it. First, we'll dig into what life was like for the vast majority of people. Then, we'll jump into the world of knights and monks. After that, we're going to bust some classic myths, then witness a catastrophe that changed everything. And finally, we'll look at what this era really left behind. First up, let's talk about the people who were the absolute bedrock of this entire world. They fed everyone, they built everything, they did all the backbreaking labor, and yet they're the group we probably know the least about. I mean, just look at this chart. Let the scale of that sink in. A staggering 90% of the population were peasants. For all intents and purposes, their world was the medieval world. And home life? Well, it was cozy. Forget separate bedrooms. We're talking one single room, an earthen floor, a fire in the middle with no chimney, so it was always smoky. And yeah, you often shared that space with the family cow or pig, both to keep the animals safe and for their body heat in the winter. Now, their diet was all about one thing: survival, not exactly fine dining. The daily menu, as you can see, was pretty monotonous. Lots of dark rye bread, porridge, maybe a thin stew of vegetables. Luxuries like meat or fancy imported spices, for most people, that was something you'd almost never see on your plate. So that's the 90%. Now let's switch gears and talk about the other 10%, the ones who held all the power. Basically, those who fought and those who prayed. You know, becoming a knight wasn't something you just decided to do one day. It was a long, demanding career path that started when you were just a boy. You'd serve as a squire for years, learning not just how to fight, but also poetry, manners, and court etiquette, all before you could finally earn your spurs. And in theory, every knight was supposed to live by this strict code of chivalry. Be courageous, be loyal, protect the weak. That was the ideal anyway. In reality, well, let's just say looting a captured city was often just as appealing as being courteous. But power wasn't just about swinging a sword. The true intellectual engines of the Middle Ages, that would be the monasteries. These places were the universities,